What if this whole time, all you've been missing was a different perspective? You don't need any more advice. You need clarity. I'm Meghan Mason, and this is Clarity Calls. Hi, today on Clarity Calls, I'm sitting down with the beautiful soul, Gail, an intuitive energy practitioner who spent over 30 years exploring what it means to be a light worker. And with that comes a lot of wisdom, which I can't wait to dive into. We are both surrendering, trusting, and knowing that whatever unfolds during this conversation is exactly what's meant to be. But before we dive in, Gail let me know that she was nudged by spirit to share a beautiful poem about divine timing. Welcome, Gail. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Megan. I am very, very appreciative of you doing this and including me in on this part of your journey. When you asked me what I should be introduced as, all these things were flashing in front of me, all of the things that I've called myself over the last 30 years. And I realized really quickly that everything that I've gone and done and tried and experimented with was what actually brought me to this moment.
Aw,
And so I didn't need a name. I could just go, all right, it's brought me, whether it's a
yeah.
Reiki master or sound practitioner, I'm just here. And I am very, very delighted.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
when this was brought to my attention, this particular poem writing, I'm not even sure what to call it. It's been written by Janie McMillan. And I think she herself was questioning, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? And this is what she's written. There is a rhythm to your life that is not created by urgency, but by alignment. You often believe that timing is about your readiness, about when you feel prepared, clear, or certain enough to step forward. But your life is not moving based on your readiness. You are part of a large unfolding. There are connections forming, pieces aligning, and movements happening that extend beyond what you've seen from where you stand. At times, you're being prepared. At times, you're being positioned. At times, you're being asked to trust that your current place is part of something greater taking shape. This is not a delay, this is an inclusion. And you are not meant to wait passively within it. You are asked to participate, to show up, to take the steps that are yours to take, to follow what is in front of you, even when it does not resemble the whole. Your willingness to engage with your life is part of how timing moves. And at the same time, you're not alone in this unfolding. You have not been placed here to be overlooked or left behind. If your intention is to be present, to contribute, to be of service in the ways that you are true for you, you are ready within the movement of what is unfolding. Nothing meant for you will pass you by. Thank goodness. There is no moment you're meant to meet. There, there is no moment you were meant to meet that you will not miss because you were forgotten. You are part of the design, not separate from it. And so you move with your life and not forcing it, not waiting, but participating, trusting, and allowing what is ready to meet you as you are ready to meet it. You are not behind, you're within the timing of your life. Wow.
Wow. Wow. Very powerful.
Isn't it? When I heard that yesterday, I thought, boy, if I had had that to look at every day as I was moving through my life, it would have reinforced that, hey, you're on the right path. You're on the right
Yeah.
path because you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we often question ourselves all day, every day, especially like in like a spiritual journey when, you're trying to explain it to people that maybe don't understand, why you're doing what you're doing. Some of us up and quit, our regular jobs that other people are like, that's security. I can't believe, you're just going to try to go do this other path. And it really takes a lot of courage to do that. And some people, I see a lot of people kind of just stuck too, where they know that they have these special, like, or, they recognize their abilities. And some people feel stuck because some people are just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I like, in that poem, it talked about you are not meant to just stay stagnant. Like, you are meant to be active. And I do feel that's something that I have been blessed with, where I think it comes a little bit more natural to me to take that deep dive, like,
Mhm.
where it would scare the crap out of anybody else of like, "Oh my gosh, why are you doing that? That seems really crazy."
And it
Uh,
it is what life puts in front of you. And do you
yeah,
take it or do you not?
right.
And what moves you?
Yeah. And I loved how it talked about, like, the readiness, like, I think we are all waiting for that moment of, like, "When are we gonna be ready? Okay, I gotta be ready to do it," and it's like, no, sometimes you just have to, I always say, like, it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, you're just seeing if it's gonna stick and see, actually, like, the podcast, I started a podcast with a co-host, and it was great, and we loved it, and we loved working together, and then, unfortunately, I don't even like to say unfortunately because I truly
Mhm.
believe in divine
Yeah.
timing. I just like this poem explains, like, there's so many moving parts that are happening that we're not even aware of. But and me and my co-host from the other podcast, like, we've talked about it openly. Like, I think we started that podcast because it both just made us jump off the cliff together.
Mhm. Mhm. You
And
had somebody's hand to hold.
yes, and it just made us jump out there and just try it. And then, she had some health issues that we had to go separate ways, but both of us kinda look back now at it of like, "No, that was meant to be." There was a purpose for it all, and, now I'm, branching off on my own, doing clarity calls, and yeah,
Mm.
what a beautiful poem. Thank you for sharing, Gail.
Oh, you're welcome. What really spoke to me, because I started my spiritual journey when I was just in my early 40s, but
Mhm.
I was in a marriage which wouldn't have allowed me to move forward.
Okay.
Because there was too much fear
Mhm.
anything different.
Yeah.
And it was time for me to leave it. And I did.
Yeah.
I just leaped into the void and just took the chance. And then it started to unfold for me. And I could not believe that's 40. I'm now 75.
Wow.
And in that time frame, what has happened? But every single time that I would take the leap or move, it seemed like that, oh, I'm there now. I've
Yeah.
arrived. Okay.
Yeah.
Like when I became a Reiki master. Oh, that's what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to heal people. But then the next thing I know, I'm channeling. And then the
Yeah.
next thing I know, I'm receiving download information on a system called crystalline conscious balancing
Wow.
that I was doing with my sister. And we were not only sisters, best friends, but we were spiritual partners. And I would get the information and she would ground me while I got it. And we were
Wow.
partners. Then she died.
Oh my gosh.
In 1 second. Like she died doing her most favorite thing in the world, and she was gone like that.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
that's 20 years ago, and I have
Mhm.
put that on hold. Well, now that doesn't exist because she doesn't exist. But now I know she does. With
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mediumship, I've learned that. But yeah, I honestly every time I jumped into something, I didn't stay there. I jumped into another and into another. And well, as you know, we took the mediumship together,
Yeah.
and I thought that was it. And I've been following it, but lo and behold, it's led me on another path.
Ooh, what's this newest one?
Well, I mentioned that I was channeling, and I got information of a type of modality called crystalline conscious balancing.
Oh,
And
wow.
my sister and I got it. How we worked together, I said, I know it's a CCB. And I know it's crystalline and I know it's balancing, but I don't know what the middle C is. She goes, consciousness.
Oh, wow.
Well, think back. I'm not sure, you're a lot younger than me, but 25 years ago, the word consciousness was never used, rarely
Yeah.
used. Now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Now it's everything. And now we know everything is consciousness. And so when she passed, I didn't do anything. And then I followed many different avenues. But one of them was how I ended up in the mediumship.
Okay.
I lost some very, very dear people,
Oh,
my sister, and then I remarried, and I was with him, married to him for 3 years, together 6, and he passed away. I nursed
oh,
him for the year with Reiki, which is something I was already um, a practitioner of, and then he passed, and then I moved on. And so there's 2 people. Then a really dear, dear friend who is, I would say, my like a sister. She did. She
oh my
passed.
gosh. Yeah.
And then I'm going, and now I'm in a wonderful, happy marriage. I'm doing really well. We've got 15 years behind us. Everything is really good. I'm following my spiritual stuff, and I followed the mediumship without even talking to him. I just dove right in.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting when we're supposed to move, when we're supposed to
Yeah.
take that leap,
Mhm.
and it's interesting when we don't pay attention
Yeah.
what can happen. So I knew, because I knew my guides were like patting me on the back, giving me little pushes. And I'm going, I know you want me to do something. I know. I said, but I don't know. I said, but just be gentle with me.
Yeah.
2 weeks after I said, just be gentle with me, I had conducted a Reiki workshop where I taught 5 people Reiki. At the end of it, the evening after everybody left, I fell asleep really early. I got up at 10 o'clock to go to the washroom, and I took one step too far past my entrance into one of my washrooms, and I turned to step, and I stepped out into air because it's a staircase.
Oh my gosh.
My eyes were shut. Literally, I I actually think I had an opportunity to leave the planet at that moment,
Oh, wow.
because at the bottom of the stairs, there's a cement wall,
Mhm.
but there's also a plant pot. I ended up
Yeah.
wrapped around the plant pot,
Oh
broke
my
it.
gosh.
I bruised only. I only had some bruises. They put me through every test. There wasn't a broken, and I'm in my 70s. There's not a broken body. There's not a
Wow.
torn nothing, nothing. It was just bruising. So now I know, hey, they carried me down,
Yeah.
but I had to stop and pay attention
Yeah.
because I wasn't participating. Like this thing said, I was watching and knowing and doing my wonderful life, and I wasn't participating.
Mhm.
When that happened, and I had already been thinking about mediumship because of the
Yeah.
passing, and I already found some amazing people to do readings for me and how healing it is. It's as healing as anything, I think, in the whole
Oh,
world, this
it is.
medium. It
It
is.
is.
And so I ended up online, and I found the Shift Network, and I found the mediumship training. I signed up in a nanosecond. And the next thing you know, I'm 2 years later.
Wow.
And I met you, and I met a
Yeah.
lot of people. And I'm thinking, now I'm practicing, and I'm working hard at it, and I think I've got it. Well, it's part of the picture.
Yes. Yes.
So I mentioned to you about the crystalline conscious balancing, how it been channeled to me.
Yeah.
It's back.
Oh, wow.
It's
So
been
explain,
dormant
like,
for
go
20
into
years.
detail what that means, because 'cause I'm not really familiar with that.
No,
And
okay. So what I got given at that time was, and it took about 5 years, and even after Trudy passed, it took me another 3 years. I ended up with 6 modalities. And I was just getting them and playing with it and practicing. I wasn't teaching it, I wasn't doing it, but I was fascinated with it. It's all
Mhm.
about sacred geometry,
Okay, yeah.
and which is now a word that everybody, sacred geometry. Oh yeah, I've heard all about
Yep.
it. It's a universal language.
Yeah.
Well, what 20 years ago, sacred geometry was nobody. it was like I do Reiki. Well, what's Reiki? Well, now it's common.
Yeah.
And if I said to them, "Well, I use sacred geometry," and they'd look at me like I'm crazy. Well, in lots of ways I was, because I really didn't know what it was. But
Yeah.
I knew that it took our physical, emotional, all of our bodies and made them one with sacred geometry. It was taking us on a higher vibrational level,
Mhm.
working with our own selves on a higher vibrational level. And so what has occurred is, again, Shift Network now has been introduced to my life, right? And they send me notices. And I glance at them and I delete them. This one notice came up and it was quantum DNA, my diamond light body. I went, what is that?
Isn't it funny how our bodies react to, like, the things that we're supposed to do? That's actually how I got into the Shift
Yeah,
Network, like, the mediumship course.
mhm,
I've never even heard of it. I don't even know how I even
me
got on
either.
their email list, and all of a sudden, yeah, it's like all these emails come through, and then the one time I saw, like, it just caught my attention, and it was I just had this subtle, like, message, like, "You're supposed to sign up for this." I signed up. I barely read the email. I didn't even know
Me
anything
neither.
about it, but I knew
I
I
didn't
was
even look
supposed
at the
to.
price.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
And I just knew I was supposed to sign up for it. So it is so funny when, like, yeah, follow those nudges. Like, when you get a nudge, like, it is so much
all of
easier.
them.
Your life just flows so easy when you go with it and flow and you're not, like, trying to, like, push it away or reject it.
No, no. So I'm continuing with the mediumship. I'm going to
Yeah.
continue practicing. I'm fascinated. I now have a circle. So this is another thing, a direction where life is
Yeah.
taking me
Yes.
through that one particular connection.
Yes.
So when we were taking the Shift Network evidential medium, we had a person who was our mentor, and
Yeah.
we had a circle of people that we worked with for the year.
Yes.
Well, there was 8 of us that didn't move on to the second level, but we kept meeting every week.
Aw, that's
And
cool.
but within 2 meetings, it shifted and changed. It stopped being about practicing mediumship. It's moved into another completely different direction, which I would love to share with you.
Yeah.
But I need to go back to the crystalline conscious balancing, the CCB work that I thought I was supposed to do forever, and then
Yeah.
Trudy left, and
Yeah.
then I didn't.
Yeah.
So this doctor, his name is Dr. John Ryan, and
Mhm.
he teaches on the Shift Network a program called DNA, My Diamond Light Body, Quantum DNA, My Diamond Light Body. And as soon as I saw my diamond light body, that's what I do with my meditations. I bring in my diamond light body, and I have for 20 years. Don't
So
ask
can
me
you
why. I didn't know.
I'm not really familiar with, these. It's not I feel like I've, like, heard of most things, but this is all really new to me. So what's my diamond light body?
It is, it's something that was, according to John Ryan. Now, I work with the Lemurians. Have you heard of the Lemurians and
Yes.
Lemuria?
Mhm.
Okay. And he and I, that's where I got the crystalline consciousness balancing work from, was from the Lemurian masters.
Mhm.
And so he's doing this now, and this quantum DNA, my diamond light body. Now it's much more scientific. I'm an energy worker. I'm not a scientific person. He's a
Yeah.
medical doctor
Wow.
that has taken the leap and gone into this.
Mhm.
He is so well spoken. It's unbelievable. His teaching is scientific as well as esoteric.
Yeah.
And he's the gentlest man. But the fact that he talks about, um, we came, we all of us here on the planet, m- that are light workers, especially light workers, and people that haven't woken up yet or aren't there yet or are still coming, that we were encoded with I'm trying to remember what he called it. It's a sacred geometry, and I think it's like 10, 12 points around our body.
Mhm.
We know about our
Like the
chakras.
what is it? The decahedron or something?
No,
Is it
it's
or
bigger than the
something bigger?
decahedron.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like Anyway, he's been given this, and so I had my first class with him this week,
Mhm.
and he activated us into the first activation of the diamond light body. But it's activating things that are already within us,
Yeah.
but we just haven't, they're dormant,
Yeah.
and we haven't brought them to the light. Now, I believe I have brought through the Lemurian masters and the crystalline conscious balancing work, I have brought that into my body. I have taken it as far as I could at the time, but I haven't done anything with it. He's taken it and he's run with it, and I am so impressed. So when I say to you, well, here I was doing this, and then I was doing that, and then I thought mediumship was going to be my next 25 years, because I'm
Yeah.
thinking I'm going to be at way into the hundreds by the time I leave
Yeah.
this planet. So I could
Oh,
do
yeah.
mediumship. Well, now I'm going, okay. And I don't know yet, but I think it's all related.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's all related. So I think with what he's going to teach me, with what I've learned through all the other modalities I did, I think it's bringing us all to a place of vibration.
Mhm.
And the higher we get in our vibration, he says it's at like the 100 monkeys. If 100 people are doing that, then 1,000 benefit, or
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that. The 100 monkeys theory. He's a
Yeah.
scientist. Anyway, well, that makes sense. But so my circle, I'm circling back now to the circle that I meet every Sunday. We meet, and we had one lady, and I think you would love to talk to her, in
Okay.
our circle, who struggled with mediumship. And the
Mhm.
reason she struggled with mediumship is she vibrates very high.
Yeah.
And so she started, all of a sudden, she saw a YouTube on light language.
Yeah.
And so she listened to it. And the next morning, she's doing light language. She literally is talking light language. So then
Yeah.
she brought that into our circle. We said, welcome, because we don't have any limits here. So
Yeah.
she started doing light language, and we started vibrating with this light language. We all started feeling it in our body.
Yeah.
And then two others, one gently was starting it, but another one started doing the light language as well. So
Yeah.
now there's three in the group doing the light language.
Wow.
And it's no language that we know.
Right. Mhm.
It's all tones, and I know it's vibration.
Oh, yeah.
At first I thought, "Oh, this sounds like dolphins.
Yeah.
This sounds just like dolphins." And I've
Mhm.
swam with the dolphins in the wild.
Yeah.
I'll share that too. When I was swimming all by myself in Hawaii, out in a big, big bay, and I was laying there waiting for the dolphins. Nobody was around. Where's my fear? I don't know. I was with the dolphins. I was laying out in the middle, and I could hear them coming. And I'm going, oh, I hear
Yeah.
them. A whole pod started going past me. I went, ah. So I reached out and I sent them Reiki.
Oh, wow.
And one of them broke free and came and looked me straight in the eye, and then turned and swam belly to belly, and then left and joined its pals. I've never
Oh,
swam with them since. It was just the most amazing experience. So I digested a little bit, but they sound like this light language sounds like dolphins. But it
yeah.
also sounds like I was part of a Lemurian choir.
Oh.
Are you familiar with Lee Carroll? What Cryon's work?
I've heard. It sounds familiar,
Yeah,
but
Lee Carroll channels Cryon. And at one point they were told 2012, 12, 12, 12, that they were supposed to bring a group of people from around the world to Maui, and they were all supposed to be singing Lemurian songs. And so they had us learning it all over the world. There was 1,200 of us showed up for this.
wow.
12, 12, 12 in Maui. And we all sang. And it's not, again, it's not a language.
Yeah.
It's tones.
Yeah.
And so this sounds, the light language sounds like that, but I think it's even different.
Mhm.
So I think you've also been hearing, like me, there is light coming into the planet right now. It's just coming like crazy.
Mhm.
And apparently, according to my friend Carol, who started this with us in our group, she says, we are all going to be learning this so we can communicate, even though we don't know what they're saying.
Yeah. But you can
So,
feel it. Like if you ever
yeah.
hear light language, um, actually on the previous episode before this, I had a channeler on there and she does light language. And our whole session was basically her just doing light language. And like, it you could feel the vibrations, like, in your body. It's almost like a sound bowl, like, or,
Totally, totally.
like a sound bath that you're in when people do light language.
Mhm.
And one of my very first, teachers, she introduced me to light language because I always say how these abilities just
Mhm.
I feel like happened to me overnight. I just woke up and just, like, could sense spirit. And I've been on
Yeah.
this journey ever since, but one of my very first mediumship teachers, she did it, and it, like, almost puts me, like, in a trance. I
Mhm.
can get into, like, what we call, if you're gonna try to do a mediumship reading or channeling or something, you get into the power, is what we say.
Yeah.
Um, I could get into, like, the power if she is doing light language. It instantly just puts me in this high vibration.
Like Hemisync does.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Hemi-sync is
Yeah.
yeah, similar.
Yeah.
It is really cool. Um, yeah, it's a beautiful light language is very beautiful and,
There's a new step to it though.
oh, what's the new step?
So I'm knowing I actually said to the group, well, I won't be doing that. I don't know why I won't be doing that. You know what all of a sudden took over me? So back up to crystalline conscious balancing, back up
Mhm.
to sacred geometry,
Yeah.
uh, golden diamond light. That's what I bring in, golden diamond light. And now when they do the light language, my hands are doing like if somebody was deaf, sign language,
Yeah.
my hands are drawing in the sacred geometry that goes with the sound. I have
Oh,
no
that's
idea how this
beautiful.
started or what, or but I've did it over top of a client who was getting
Uh-huh.
Reiki, and I was giving her this light language with my fingers, no sound. I actually almost had to walk her home because her body was in such a high vibrational state. I had to ground her with a grounding rock and I had to give her lots and lots of water. And it's light language, which I'm not singing, but it's moving.
That is beautiful. So, I always like to meditate before I record, and
Yes.
I always set the intention of like, is there anything I should be aware of before I talk to whoever's on my podcast? And so I just, kind of have these conversations. And guess what came through to me? It was all about the hands. Like my hands were moving and it kept saying about the hands. And that is like a very important part of your story and what you're going to be
Mhm.
doing. So that's hilarious.
That's so fascinating because I'm fascinated. I don't understand it. I have no idea what is being drawn in my energy field. I
Yeah.
I don't, and I'm glad that you got that information because that even can confirm a little deeper to me that hey, yeah, okay, you're in alignment.
Yeah, I
And
almost emailed it to you, like, I almost said, "It has to do something with your hands," and then I was like, "Alright, I'm just gonna
good
keep
thing
it
you
very
did it.
vague and let her know that I know that if she's supposed to be talking to me about something, I can't wait to hear it."
Yeah.
Oh,
Megan,
I love
Megan,
how
that is
spirit works.
amazing. That's amazing because I do what we all do. Like, what is this? If I don't understand it, if I can't do it from my brain, then is
Yeah,
it real?
mhm.
Is it really happening?
It is, yeah.
It's
So,
really happening.
the teacher I had, her name is Victoria Bond, and she actually did it with her hands as well, and she taught us
Um,
that light language can be So it could be like the sounds, making noises. So she would try to just see whatever comes out, but also hand movements she taught us. And then
Were
I
they
think
specific?
no,
No.
you're just letting it go. You're just whatever movement you're feeling. And I feel like I've always like, kind of talked with my hands, so
Mhm.
I feel it happens with me as well, like with
Yeah.
my hands, like in readings. I do like energy healing, and my hands will get like raised up and and I can see
Mhm.
them
Yeah.
start to move. Um but light language also can be like drawing,
Mm.
like
Mhm.
scribbling. A lot of people do scribbling before they or sometimes even as they're like doing like mediumship or channeling, it kind of gets them into it. That's light language as
Well,
well.
the Hollywood medium, what's his name?
Oh yeah.
He scribbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's fascinating.
It's fascinating. I didn't connect that.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. So where is it going? Like, what is
Yeah,
happening?
yeah. It is, it's really, what's really cool is, I feel like I'm just kind of doing the right thing, being led by spirit. And when I ask guests to come on here, it's very, I use my intuition and I just feel this nudge to ask someone. And with you, I felt this, nudge. It was so calm
Mhm.
and easy and just like Gail like I just knew like Gail has so much to say. You should bring her on. But I love also once the person does come on and I start talking to them and I'm like, this is why that they're on. Like it always just like usually connects. But honestly, everything that you've been saying really resonates with my own story.
Mhm.
And, I first sensed spirit around me and I dove into mediumship. And then, even like what you were saying, like how you were saying, like one of the people in your groups, like mediumship didn't
No, she
come
couldn't do it.
easier. It was a little bit challenging. So mediumship is like that for me. And it really is because higher beings come through. And it is so much easier for me to bring through someone of a very high vibration than people's loved ones. I can bring through people's loved ones, but I have now realized and had to make kind of a hard decision of like recognizing that
Mm.
mediumship is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And it is tough because I'm in different groups and,
Yeah,
there's friends that I've made and people I still
yeah.
want to meet up with and practice mediumship, but I have to go where I'm being called. And mediumship, was not necessarily where I'm being called. But I do believe I don't think it was a mistake or an error
No,
or anything. I
it
think it
brought
was
you here.
exactly. It was a
Yeah,
stepping stone. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, I met so many wonderful people
yeah.
and in different practice groups, and we've, stayed friends, and we've just I don't know, we've built this beautiful community.
Mhm.
And so it's like I got what I needed out of mediumship, and now and I think I also needed to know like the basic ground level, like how it all works, So
Yes,
I
yes.
had to take, those courses and learn about it.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but then then learning about psychic, I didn't even know, like they just kind of go hand in hand. Like that was all new to me. And like
Mhm.
just so many aha moments when we learned
Mhm.
about psychic, like, oh man, I've been doing this my whole life.
Exactly. And it has a name.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. People would say, yeah, you're reading into that." And now I know I am. I was reading into that.
Did you not give me permission?
Yeah, yeah. I
Whoops.
can't help it. It just like came right to me. Um, but yes, and then I like realizing that channeling,
Mhm.
like what I was doing, even like I was trying to do mediumship, but then like channeling was, coming through and you could see it on my face. And, so I stepped into that and now I do feel called to do this podcast and just, bring more people on to share their stories. And, I'm just kind of I definitely my mindset is not I've never thought anything is like the end all be all.
Yeah.
I am definitely like let's just go with the flow. Let's see how long this, goes and let's
Mhm,
see what
mhm.
comes next. Um but actually it's interesting you bring up like sacred geometry. I feel very very called to that. I I'm learning more about like the archangels and I channel the archangels and Metatron comes through and he's very heavy with
He's one of
sacred.
mine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely he's my grounding.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm still learning like yeah, there are different like roles that they play for me and just kind of
yeah,
understanding
yeah.
all of it.
Mhm.
Um that's interesting that he's for your grounding.
Well,
I'll have to
it's
ask him about
interesting.
it.
Yeah, my main angel came through about 25 years ago, and he came cloaked, and I
Okay.
couldn't see him.
Oh.
And but I knew he was my guide. He
Yeah.
was my angel, and I knew he was giving me directions.
Yeah.
And then, oh, probably I finally got his name. I said, "Can I get your name?" And I got Samuel.
Oh.
And I went, "Samuel? Well, yeah, you can call me that. Can I call you Sam?" Sure. So I called him Sam for years.
Oh.
Well, years later, after 2012, there was an English author, and she wrote a 2012 prediction in a book. It was an amazing book. I don't have it anymore, but it was called 12 12 12, I believe. Anyway, she had a list of all the angels
Yeah.
and which chakra they were connected to.
Oh, cool.
That's the first time I've seen mine in writing.
Oh,
And
so which chakra?
it's my heart.
Aw.
I always knew he was connected to my heart chakra, and his name's not Samuel, it's Shamuel.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
as soon as I read that, I went, I closed my eyes and I said, "Is that you?" And he took his cloak off, and he was just light, sparkling, sparkling diamond light.
Oh,
And
wow.
he's still with me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That is really cool. Yeah, I'm starting I I don't have it memorized, but yeah, I did sit with
Mhm.
all of them and like um I asked them like what roles that they play.
Mhm.
So Metatron is just kind of like my spokesperson.
Mhm.
That's how
Yeah,
I understand it as of right
yeah.
now
Have you
for
ever
the
have you ever
archangels.
seen Metatron in his sacred geometry?
Yeah, I started looking it up and like watching videos and stuff on it just because I want to learn.
He's got everything.
Yeah.
He is sacred geometry.
Yes.
He,
Yes.
she, it. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
all yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm diving into that now and learning and we'll just see where
It
this
goes.
takes me and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, Megan. I really love it. I think you're going to help a lot of people because I think there's a lot of people who have our stories and similar
Yeah.
stories where we start something and then we go, well, what am I supposed to be doing? And how should this be working? And should I be moving along? And I really like the part in here that said, this is not a delay, but an inclusion. I really thought I was a good 10 years between doing my crystalline conscious balancing and now.
Yeah.
Even though I used it personally, I didn't study it anymore.
Yeah.
My last sacred geometry got was the spiral. And I go, okay,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do with that? Anyway, now I don't have to, I know that through Dr. Ryan, it's being given to me. And
Yes.
what I'm going to do, I don't have a clue.
Yeah. And that's okay. And that's what the beauty of this life is just like we are meant to be living in the present moment. We are not meant to worry about the future and what all these what ifs, and we're definitely not supposed to be back in the past and having
No,
any
no.
regrets or anything like that. We are truly meant to just live in the present moment. And when we do that, our lives really flow. I
They
mean,
do. They absolutely do.
yeah.
I was raised in the generation like, so you got a job, you got an education, you got this and you got that, and then that was it for life.
Yes.
And I ended up as a instructor at our university here and where I live in the hairdressing department. I knew when I was 11 I was going to be a hairdresser, but
Oh,
by the
wow.
time I'm 30, I'm working in a university teaching it.
Oh, yeah.
But when I hit 55, I went, it's time for me to go." And I thought, "Oh, how am I gonna do that?"
Yeah. It's scary.
I put in for they had this thing that existed within the university that you could put in for early retirement.
Oh, wow.
So you got a big bonus,
Yeah.
and you got your pension right away, and you got to go. But everybody could put in for it.
Hmm.
And so I called our the department which would tell me what to do, and I said, "I'm considering it." She says, "Well, if you're considering it," I said, "Well, next year." She says, "Well, if you're considering it, you should put in for it this year so then they know you're interested."
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks later, I got a phone call. "Are you still interested? Because you are the first one on the list. You
Oh,
have the
wow.
you have the seniority to do it."
Yeah.
I took the leap.
Yes.
Freedom 55, I took the leap. And I know I was guided.
Yes.
I know my guide said, "Come on, you're done with that now.
Yeah. I
Time to
know you were
move."
guided. All these stories that you're telling, so my body gives me chills. Anytime that like if someone's talking to me anything that has to do with like a spiritual like kind of thing,
Yeah,
like that they were guided, me and spirit and whoever I'm talking to, I when we're
you
all
feel it.
vibing together, my body, I just get these like major chills. So
Yeah.
yeah, you definitely were guided. And I think the audience like that are listening, sometimes it's scary, but sometimes we make it seem very easy to make these decisions like, "Oh, we just,
No,
what?"
it's not easy and it
It's
is scary.
not. It
No,
is. There's
it
always still
is.
gonna be that fear there and the what ifs and that's but you just have to kinda let that go and let it roll off your back and just be like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm surrendering. I'm just gonna follow these signs."
Do you know what I had to do? Now, you know Eckhart Tolle. He wrote
Yes,
The Power of
I just
Now.
just finished his course, a teacher of presence.
Oh, okay. So I go back to when he first started, and he was
Mhm.
he was on my island. He comes from Vancouver, and I live on Vancouver Island. He was on my island, and we went to a house, and we all sat around, and he came and talked to us.
Wow.
Yeah, this was at a house. Now look at him; he's at a big auditorium. But where I was going with this is he did it overnight. His story was he got super depressed and he went to sleep this one night and next day he woke up changed. His
Mhm.
his spirit came and said, "Okay, we're getting you out of here now. This is the
Yeah,
new you."
yeah.
I had to go through it's like a ladder. In order to go up that, I had to take the steps, but I had to take the healing steps.
Mhm.
Because I was born in a family that was dysfunctional. I ended up in a marriage that was dysfunctional. I ended up in many different situations. I had to heal.
Yes.
And I have spent the last 30 years, and I'm still working on healing. But now, I hope you're vibrating because I now know that I wouldn't have got here if I hadn't have done the work,
Oh,
if I
yeah,
hadn't have participated in my own healing.
yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I hit the wall, okay. Now what?
Yeah, it is so true, and, I mean, I'm a very similar story, and I think many of us that are on this
Mhm,
path,
mhm.
we did not have, the easiest background. And there was a lot of, struggles, but there's just a lot of healing to be done, and I
Yeah.
think yeah, we have to be a clear vessel in order to be able to talk to spirits and to hear that communication. But also, so if we're out there, being this middleman and
Mhm.
we can't let our own
No.
trauma get in the way, 'cause I mean, I definitely I've noticed that before where I've had a thought come in my head of like that assumption. Oh, they somebody might tell me something and it's just like, oh, well, they probably experienced what I experienced because I had,
Mhm.
something bad
Mhm.
happen to me, and it was just like, no, get this out of here. But yeah, I've
Mhm.
gone the last few years has definitely been a healing journey for me. And really, you don't even have to have like the most traumatic things happen to you. I mean, really, I think we all just sometimes hold you could have really traumatic things, but it also could just be a story that you told yourself. And we do that a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
I mean, I
yeah,
think our parents do the best that they can,
yeah.
society, the people who are around. But sometimes we just start telling ourselves a story to comfort ourselves, and then we hold on to that story. And then, we're still adults telling this woe is me story. And it's like, we have to
We
get
have
rid
to
of
re
that.
we have to rewrite it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes it's not like so traumatic.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just getting rid of these old beliefs that okay, it wasn't that bad, or you deserved comfort at that time. You deserved
Mhm.
attention, or telling yourself what you deserve and giving yourself love and just shedding all that,
Yeah.
baggage that we hold on to because it is just, anger or whatever negative emotion is just going to be boiling up in us. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I
time for it to go at different points. We reach that point,
Oh
and
yeah.
you know what I really learned from our evidential mediumship course? One
Mhm.
thing that really, two things struck me really deeply was the architect's plan.
Oh yeah.
And that's our soul's plan. Well, when I
Yes.
actually did the meditation and connected with my soul, I cried and cried and cried for days. I have a
Oh.
soul. I knew I had a
Yeah.
soul, but I didn't know I had a soul. And I knew here, but I didn't know here.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
when I started looking at my past, I'm looking at, well, that was part of the plan. I was supposed to
Yes.
experience that so I can have compassion. I can have
Yes.
understanding and yeah, I can relate to people because life wasn't easy and I don't know anybody that it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's has its moments for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Life can be tough and relationships can be tough, but just like what you said is we're kind of meant to go through these hard times exactly to in order to have these lessons, in order to know what true compassion is, what unconditional love is. Like you kind of can't get to that unless you kind of had like a catalyst that was,
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
pushing you. So, yeah, I definitely am grateful for the
Your healing
moment.
journey.
Yeah, because it was really, I mean, I how I even got on this journey was very tough. It was when my dad was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and I really couldn't see him a lot as he was dying, and it was painful. It broke my heart, and that is kind of what pushed me to make changes in my life and want to do different and do better. And yeah, it put me on my healing journey for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Well, when I left my first husband, I knew, and I now know I knew because my guides, my angels, my my heart was telling me if I don't heal, I'm going to marry somebody just like him.
Yes.
I'm just going to repeat myself. I went on a 5-year journey and I never married anything like him. He didn't stay very long. He left the planet, but yeah, no, it's true.
It is, and I think a lot of people don't know that either. Marriage is really, really tough, and, obviously, I'm not talking about if you're, like, in an abusive relationship or
No,
anything like that,
just
but
normal days.
yeah, but sometimes you can I don't know, I do think that you're gonna probably end up with the same type of person if you don't kinda look at yourself in the mirror and see what you can change and see what you can do, and Um, but yeah, being able to work out all the, different struggles in a
Mhm,
marriage because it
mhm, mhm.
I don't know. Marriage is just tough.
And it's all gifts. We're given
Yeah.
these gifts, and yeah. I had a very, very dear friend that I told you who passed, and
Mhm.
her life wasn't always easy, but she was a take charge kind of person. She had that look about her, that everything. She'd walk in a room and everybody would notice her, and was very successful. And then she got a brain tumor. And in that year, she went from this high vibration, high vitality and everything. She had the life, everything, and gradually it got taken from her,
Wow.
including her sight.
Oh my gosh.
And I watched it. I spent every day with her family and myself. I spent every day helping. And what happened, what I witnessed from a spiritual standpoint, she grew spiritually in that last year faster and bigger than she ever would. She doesn't even have to come back. She learned so many lessons in that short time period
Yeah, it was
because
powerful.
life took it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
found that very fascinating. I don't want that, but I'd rather the slow road myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Uh, Suzanne Giesman always says, "Let my lessons be as painless as possible." Yes, I catch myself saying that all the
yeah,
time, like,
yeah.
especially if I start, like, recognizing, like,
Mhm.
I'm, like, getting in a cranky mood or something like that, and then I'm like, "Okay, okay, okay, I'm getting it. I'm changing my thought process. Give me a second. Let my lessons be as painless as possible."
And for you too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Wow.
Well, Gail, thank you so much for coming on Clarity Calls. Are you accepting clients? And if you are accepting clients, I feel like you have a lot under your belt. What kind um, of services, or what were your sessions like?
I'm open to doing energy work here in my
Yeah,
own home. I have my space all set up for energy work, sound, Reiki, you name it. It's all part
yeah,
of it. And, but I'm also very, very open to doing readings for mediumship.
yeah.
I'm
Beautiful.
very open because I still, even though the others is coming in and it looks like there's another arms to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
My heart still is in the healing work of mediumship. And I can be reached by my email.
Okay. And yeah, and I'll post your email on this
Mhm.
episode for people to reach out to you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you for listening. If something resonated, follow along and share this with someone who needs a new perspective. The views shared are personal to each guest and are simply their own, and these conversations are not a substitute for a medical or professional advice. Thank you for tuning in.